And this is an important topic that I want to discuss because we see this a lot. And it's TikTok. You're going to do a lot better, like talking about a face cream and showing results and, getting a bunch of hits and you need to be a little more targeted because of the format of LinkedIn. If you're talking about a product, right? You need to talk about the story of the product. You need to be you need to have great copy. You talk about the problem the product, solves. But mostly, you need to talk about the problem that the sphere of your target audience is dealing with.
Now you have the really cool hat, Chris.
Yeah, exactly. Thank you for giving me the opportunity to wear the hat so we don't wear the same hat. We should probably get different colors or different styles, so we could both wear them. Or
yep,
I don't know.
There will be the swag will be coming with the golf shirts and other stuff. That's a plan, at least.
Oh, cool. Well, that'd be great.
I don't know. That's at least why I thought we might try, but that'll be next.
Yeah, that's a good idea.
And for everybody who's not watching on YouTube, we have our influence strategies group swag that we do. And if you're interested in ISG, just send us a DM. We work with healthcare entrepreneurs, founders, surgeons, physicians, and helping their thought leadership. And it's been a lot of fun so far.
Yeah, it has. I mean, it's 2026 is what they're saying will be the year of the humans, even though AI is trying to kill us, according to what I just read in the news about an AI bot says it would kill a human to avoid shutdown. This is 2 days ago, which is quite concerning.
Cool.
I don't want to go too far down the fear of AI killing us. We did that last episode, but the reason why AI will be the year, 2026 will be the year of the humans is because I think in 2024, since every AI company predicted that they would automate jobs out of needing humans, the tech isn't just there. It's not there yet.
No.
And
it's not going to happen. I just don't. There'll be some, I will say this. I used to send a lot of stuff to certain contractors to do for me, as far as video wise and editing wise and things of that nature. I don't do that anymore. There's AI software that helps me do that. But the ideation piece of the puzzle, that's not going to go away for sure.
Yeah, and I do think that and those people that were doing it are just doing it with AI, using AI more and expanding their businesses even further. So I think it's just evolving. I think it's like anything else, right? You add a motorized car to the mix. Yeah, maybe the horse-drawn buggies went out of business, but they found a different way to do it. Maybe they bought a car. Maybe they're more efficient. I don't think it's I think a lot of what we're seeing with the tough jobs and I think it's more companies adjusting to some other economic times and a little bit more fear involved than actually the technology that's out there. And the reason why I brought it up, because I think the pendulum is swinging back faster than anyone expected. Everyone built, personal brand, should be building personal brands that AI proof your career.
Yep.
Because people are searching for that connection. Are they searching for connection in person as much as they used to? No, but they're being a little more intentional about it. So then you need to find a way to do that online. And I'm a big believer, and we're both big believers in that. And that's why we do it for our people too.
Yeah. Well, because that's the new place where marketing occurs. I mean, if you didn't realize it by now, if you're listening to us, as much as, they used to be newspapers and things of that nature. By the way, Washington Post is basically, axing people left and right. Newspapers are going away. It's because their ad revenue is way down because people have all shifted to social media platforms.
Mm-hmm.
And that shift will continue.
Yeah. And for you, your reach as not you, Eric, but, speaking to people in the audience, you as your brand have the ability to have that reach more so than these media companies can on these AI platforms. I mean, obviously they have the ones that have big money and they're pumping out a bunch of content but you can make a pretty big indent. I mean, we just saw that today with one of our clients with his first post. I mean, it's like, made a tremendous impact with the first post he's ever had, that we helped him do. So it's, day one, right? For someone like that is amazing. And it just goes to show you make a commitment of crafting and shaping your brand by identifying, who you're serving and communicating that to the world. there's a lot of damage to be done, and recruiters are looking for that. Companies are looking for that. They're looking for that ownership of you as a person and you as an employee, because they need more than ever people that are going to own the outcomes. They're not just hiring people to be part of projects anymore, right? They're looking, companies are looking for people that can make an impact and can prove it and want to talk about it. And so there's just many different ways you can look at why personal brand is important, and not just for on the job, the job side of things, but more so on as an entrepreneur. The best way to bring in customers is talk about the problems you solve and who and target them to the people that you're trying to solve them for.
Yeah, and if you're listening to this podcast right now and you're not utilizing social media and you're not posting as many times per week as you can right now, newsflash, it's free. It doesn't cost a dime to do. It costs you a little bit of time. That's it. And I think this could be a whole rabbit hole. It won't in the future. You'll have access to premium social media networks and social media people who are watching. Anyway, that's going to be a whole different topic, but that's going to change. But I can tell you, if you're not doing it and you're not posting and you're not sharing your thought leadership you can do as many platforms as you want. If you're not, I don't know what you're doing. I don't know if you're waiting for the yellow pages to come by and knock on your door so you can advertise there.
Yeah, and the important part is, and why we talk about the LLMs are specifically targeting, because people are using LLMs to search for services and search for people. If you're a doctor, if you're a landscape company, if you're a plumber, ChatGPT alone processes 2.5 billion queries each day, right? I mean, think about that.
2.5 billion. Holy mackerel, that's gone up tremendously.
Yeah, I mean, we spent a decade optimizing for any of us, like optimizing for Google, and now the real gatekeeper is these LLMs. And think about that. And when people are searching up regenerative medicine surgeon, or men's health clinic in the Toronto area, or the St. Augustine area, what's coming up is the people that have the biggest brands, the biggest footprints on social media, that are known as thought leaders, that have they have the space wrapped around their finger. And you can do that by becoming that person in your space, for sure.
Yeah, that's so well said. I didn't realize there's that many queries, it means it's completely shifting away from, let me type into Google this now. That's interesting. We all use ChatGPT. Probably was listening to this several times a day. Maybe you don't. But you're right. If you do deep research and you click on deep research and you want it, that's exactly what they're going to see. Who has the most hits of thought leadership, or I like to say hits, queries, when the most times that they're going to be come up as instances of them sharing their thoughts. And that's what it's all about.
Yeah. And, in terms of share, I mean, it's going for, it's searching through all the platforms. And the important part is, understanding it's not the old days of, optimize your page for Google and your company. Like, it's you as the person that can tell the story that's happening in your business. I mean, I don't know about you, but I follow other companies on other pages because of the content they make, for like no other apparent reason other than I like the fact that I'm tracking this young entrepreneur that started a concrete company in Texas, and he's sharing like all his success and his main business development, aka the leads he gets, which, hello, anybody listening, everybody needs leads. You sell something, you're a surgeon, you sell something, you're a marketing company, you sell something, you need leads, you need people walking your door, you need people coming to you, meeting with you. His main business development is the stories that he shares about the trials and tribulations about starting a business, and people are like, oh, I want to work with this guy. I trust him.
Yep.
Because I'm sharing what's happening.
Sure.
And I mean that you could do that. Not I'm not telling you to start a concrete company. I'm sorry, which sounds like a great idea, but if you want to be like one of our friends, like a fractional CXO for an ophthalmology device company, you're going to share your thought leadership, and you're going to get offers in your sphere of people looking to help fix that problem within their company because you're considered that person in that space, right? We know you and I both know who that person is. Our good friend Tony Summer. I mean,
Yeah.
it's not rocket science, but it can be because it's just nothing we've been taught before over the long term, and it's just a different way of thinking about things.
Oh, 100%. Yeah. I mean, we have several people that come to Content Crib. I just coming to my mind right now that all of a sudden, they'll start sharing thoughts and value, and I'll get a DM. Eric, I just got this job offer that I never even thought would happen, that type of thing. And they begin to know you before they meet you, and the rest is history. But it's going to be interesting here in the future. We talk about how there's so much of this AI slop that's out there in social media, and how much people are just passing by. And I alluded to it before. I just wonder when the day is going to come. There's going to be these very highly segmented social media networks, and I think LinkedIn is that. What I'm getting at is I think LinkedIn is that right now. Definitely Instagram is not. I mean, there's just a lot of TikTok has a lot of that stuff too. But with LinkedIn, you the people you want to connect with are on LinkedIn. That's where they are. And now I know people are going to say, well, wait a minute, I've never been on LinkedIn. Well, there's 1 billion users, so I can guarantee you the person you're trying to connect with is out there at some point in time. Or your ideal customer. How about that? And with 1 billion users, and here's the other crazy thing, the other stat I heard last night too, is out of LinkedIn, less than 1% of, or less than 1% of people post.
Oh yeah, accurate.
Yeah. It's like crazy the stats on it. So that means that you got lots of people just out there reading information. That's what they're doing. They're out there that's where they go to get value.
It's only 1% of LinkedIn users post content weekly, and they generate 1% 9 billion impressions per week.
9 billion. Good night. So for those, and we just met with a doctor who was not on LinkedIn, asked all kinds of questions as to why that this individual should be on LinkedIn, what was the purpose, and as we kind of coached and talked through it and had him understand, all of a sudden I think he's a big fan now after some of the things that are going on.
Yeah, I mean, LinkedIn has 1.1 billion users. 3 people join every second. Over 70% of LinkedIn users have decision-making authority. Think about that.
That's pretty wild.
But obviously, if you're B2B and you're going after some decision makers on LinkedIn, I mean, the amount of people that don't use it properly and just share, their headline is like President's Club winner and like just a scream salesperson, like that drives me crazy. Like, yeah. Can you identify yourself as what you do, like how you help them, and then maybe they'll understand more when you reach out? Well, that's a whole nother story. We can go down that rabbit hole. Of giving tips on.
Go down that. I mean, I'll change my headline often.
I love that. I love when you change your headline. Yeah, that's so good.
Because because something comes to me and I really do some analysis and I think about it. And I've stuck with this one for a while now. But
I like that you're. Yeah.
Yeah. I turn authority and influence into revenue. It's like it covers everything that I do, and whether that's in medical device and whatever, and ISG and other things. Because I just, if you're in sales, you turn authority and influence into revenue. That's what you do. And, people will stop by my headline. I know they do because they tell me. They stop by and they go, what is he talking about? Like, what does he do? He does that. How does he do that? And the rest is history.
Well, I'll say, I want to run through a couple more of these stats, but, I feel like I say this I feel like I repeat myself a lot on these podcasts, but I feel like I repeat this one specifically on every podcast, which is I had a meeting today from a doctor on LinkedIn that saw a post that I made.
Well, that's a good thing to repeat every day.
Yeah, I know. Yeah. So he saw my post. He reached out and wanted to book a meeting to
Wow.
discuss what that I feel like I'm saying that every and that can be you too if you
Sure.
do it the right way, and vice versa if you're a doctor and you want to talk about what you do. So I know we're in healthcare and we talk about healthcare marketers and executives and doctors and surgeons and NPs and all that. But it's not just that, right? It's everybody else too. But I want to, what I was saying about the 70% of LinkedIn users have decision making authority. I mean, so, right. So we talk about that on the B2B perspective, but just thinking about that chunk of data, 70% of LinkedIn users have decision making authority. That directly translates to their seniority and their income, and I could look up some stats on the income. We both know it's very high on LinkedIn.
It's like triple. It's triple TikTok, and at least double Instagram for sure. Now there's a lot of kids on TikTok, so that's why. But
yeah. So don't discount your direct to consumer services on LinkedIn because those people have the, disposable income and are looking for trusted providers of whatever service you provide. So you just have to be a little more careful about it. And this is an important topic that I want to discuss because we see this a lot, and it's TikTok. You're going to do a lot better, like talking about a face cream and showing results and, getting a bunch of hits and a bunch. You need to be a little more targeted because of the format of LinkedIn. If you're talking about a product, right, you need to talk about the story of the product. You need to be right. You need to have great copy. You talk about the problem the product, solves, but mostly you need to talk about the problem that the sphere of your target audience is dealing with the most and how your product may solve it, and generally just relate to them and talk about the problems that they're having, right? So not just, I have this amazing product, here's what it does, 20% off. That doesn't work on LinkedIn.
no, you're right. Yeah, that's so well said. It doesn't work at all. Like people will scroll right on by, and they don't. They're on LinkedIn to listen to for value from trusted sources. That's why they're there. And I think you said it several podcasts back, like, consumers are so better educated to go by. They know exactly what product they want because they've done the research. And when you do the research on LinkedIn, you're buying the person, you're trusting the person that's obviously they're posting, and they'll follow you for a while. And then all of a sudden they'll show up, much like, when they follow a post by Chris and they come and talk to him. They want to schedule a meeting.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, it's, the same thing with when I make posts about Content Crib. It's like, oh yeah, I got to book that. Like I need to, where are you staying? Where do I book the hotel? What's the schedule? Where's the sign up link? It's the same thing. People want to attend and buy the things that you have if you're communicating about them in the right way. And there's definitely an art and a system to that. And we obviously help that with our clients. You can obviously listen to all the free ideas and tips and tricks that we put out there in our podcast every week. We post about, we have programs, we have Content Crib RX, we have Virtual Sales RX, we have all the tools for you to do that. Sign up, take care of it. Most of you are too busy to do it and then apply it and learn on your own. So then you end up, at least that's what I do. I need to actually hire someone to help me do it or show me because that's how I learn and the time and all that stuff. But, we have that ability to do that like one-on-one with our service at ISG and then all of our micro products.
Yep. And if you're choosing not to do these things, you're invisible. Nobody knows who you are. If they don't know who you are, they're not going to be targeting to buy your products or take advantage of your services. So if you're not doing this, you might as well be invisible, and you are.
Yeah, I got some stats on the income and buying power of LinkedIn. I know we're all over the place, but 50% of U.S. LinkedIn users earn over 100K annually. Listen, I know that everyone says 100K isn't the money that it used to be. We get that, right?
Yeah.
I understand that. But it's still in the top. I think earning 100K, and I'll check this in a second, but is still in the top 15 to 20% of the U.S. population. So it's no small
No, no, no. I actually I think it's yeah, it's top of the top 10% for sure. If you're a 100K earner, so that's definitely where you want to be when you want to talk to people about your product. I mean, or you can just keep doing what you were doing before, and rely on Google SEO and spend lots of money on AdWords.
Yeah, it's 18% of U.S. adults, which is still a very small number,
Sure,
considering and that number, you know, that's 50%. That's half of the U.S. LinkedIn users, and
a
that's a
lot.
big deal. LinkedIn members possess, like you said, 2 times the buying power of the average social media audience. And then 40% of all LinkedIn users have incomes over 75,000 plus. So I mean, the numbers are there. There's a reason to go on that platform. And then talk to me a little bit about why building a brand on LinkedIn ranks you higher in search and Google, because you have this down pat.
Yeah,
Explain it.
it's LinkedIn invests heavily in Google SEO with AdWords, but one of the things that's brilliant, it's just the natural byproduct of it, is Google goes out also, one of their metrics is, how many hits can they find with the name LinkedIn, and or with your name. And if you're on LinkedIn and so much traffic around LinkedIn or on the internet, it boosts the search as well. So there's all kinds of different components to it, but mostly LinkedIn invests heavily to make sure, pardon me, if you Google somebody's name, LinkedIn is usually one of the first ones that comes up that with your
True.
profile, one of your profiles, or I'm sorry, your profile, and or it's not your TikTok dancing ability for sure.
For sure. So everybody, get started. If you're starting to share a little bit, reach
Keep
out.
going.
We can help. Keep going. Reach out. We can help. We have a bunch of free tools, or point you in the right direction. And of course, we have more white glove services as well. So
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, but please please go out and today, if you're not, just make the promise to yourself that you'll start, because I'm gonna tell you, I said it before, you don't want to be invisible, not in this day and age. You
nope,
don't have to be, and it's
nope,
free.
free.
Free. So I guess on that note,
It's
another
a wrap.
podcast is in the books.
Another day we survived AI from killing us all.
Tune in to make sure that we made it.
All right, let's see ya.
Talk to you later.